let's talk about what is MySQL. So in this particular module, you're going to learn about SQL is a query language, not a programming language. So module overview, let me tell you, SQL is a query language. It is used for accessing, cleaning and analyzing the data that are stored in the databases. Databases, you can assume that we have a lots of data, and that data we're going to store somewhere known as databases. Okay, and it is a very easy to learn, and this module aim at making you understand and implement the SQL queries. So in this module, you're going to learn about the core database concepts, how the data is stored in the data table, DDL, DCL, DML commands, and sorting of the data using SQL, functions in SQLs, some joins, triggers, views, etc. etc. Now, before going to the practical, let's talk about what is database. So database is a systematic collection of data. Database support storage and manipulation of data. For example, let's consider a real world example talking about the Facebook. It needs to store and manipulate and present the data related to members, their friends, and member activities, messages, advertisements, and lot more. So it uses the database for the same. Now let's talk about what is DBMS. Okay, let's talk about what is DBMS. Data Management System. Okay, the full form of DBMS is a data management system, is a collection of program which enables its users to access database, manipulate data, reporting and representation of the data. Okay, so there are so many types of DBMS we are having. We are having the graph database, operational database, relational database, end user database, commercial database. So right now we will going to learn about the MySQL database. Okay, so what is a relational database? So the relational database, this type of DBMS define the database relationship in the form of tables. Okay, also known as relations. Okay, so this is the most popular DBMS type in the market. Example of the relational database management system is MySQL, Oracle, Microsoft SQL Server. So in this lecture, we're going to learn about MySQL. So guys, do you have any questions till here? Any kind of question? This is a basic common of SQL. What is SQL? What is MySQL? What is DBMS? What is RDBMS? So you guys can ask me now questions if you have any. So let's talk about what is SQL. SQL is a structured query language pronounced as SQL. It is also known as SQL. So if somebody pronounce SQL, it is the same thing. Somebody pronounce SQL, it is the same thing. So now let's talk about what is MySQL. MySQL is the freely available open source database management system. Okay, it is a combination of the name of the co-founder, Michael, and the SQL is an abbreviation of structured query language. Okay, now let's talk about table. So a table is another term of a relation. The data in RDBMS, known as Relational Database Management System, is stored in objects which are called tables. In a simple lay language, there will be a database. You need to create a database. Then you need to create a table. Inside the table, just like our college curriculum table, college timetable, like that, it contains rows and columns. So our SQL table also contain rows and column. So where is the rows and column? Inside the table. Where is the table? inside the database. So you have to create a database. You can create a multiple database. Then you can use a one database, and in a one database you can create a multiple tables with a different name. In a table you can insert your data as much data, whatever the data you want, you can store it. It has a lots of capacity to store the data. So you can see here the following program is an example of a customer table. So you can see here ID, name, age, address, salary will going to be your column, and this will going to be your rows. The horizontal line will going to be your column, and the horizontal line will going to be your rows, and the vertical lines will going to be your column. Now let's talk about how to create a database. Let's talk about some practical, enough of theory. How to create a database. Before that, we are using DB here, and we are using here MySQL. So first, this is my MySQL server. I am opening my MySQL server, my MySQL workbench. Okay, so this is a MySQL workbench I have downloaded. It's an open source one. So I have opened it, and then I have connected with the by default root and the password. And now we're going to use this software known as DBVer. Okay, now what is it? We need to connect with the MySQL database. There is a plus button. Okay, you are seeing it. There is a plus button. You need to click on that. You need to click on MySQL, click on next. You need to provide your MySQL workbench username and password. So we're going to see this thing in detail. Right now you just assume we'll connect it to our MySQL to DBVer. That's it. Now let's talk about, so you can directly provide the password and you can here finish. Now after that, whatever the data present in my local MySQL workbench, it will going to be stored here. Okay, where it will going to be stored? It will going to reflect here. So many databases and all those stuff. So I'm going to create a database. Okay, and then show you how to create a database. I'm going to create a database known as create database. This is the command for creating a database. Create database. I am creating a database known as test1. Okay, I am running this. Now one updated query, start time, end time, and finish time. My query is run. Now I can reload it. Right click on it. You can refresh it. So you can see here test1. Now I wanted to use this particular database. How to do that? So I can create a new script for that. So by clicking on SQL, you can create a new script, empty new script. Now here, what you need to do? I need to use this database. How to use this database? Using the use command. Okay, so this is it. So now where I am? So there are so many databases. Ikeda, Full Stack, Henry, Java, Java 2, Java 10. Now I don't wanted to use any of them. I just wanted to use the test1 only. So I have done use test1. Any questions still here? You guys can ask me. So let's summarize everything. We have talked about 2 commands, how to create a database, how to use the database. Now, how many databases are present in my data? In my SQL databases, I need to check that. What is the command for that? Show databases. What is the command? Show databases. I'm going to click on that because these 2 commands are already run. I can click on that. I can select this particular command and run it. So you can see These are the available list that is present in my database. Am I clear? Now, by mistakenly I have created test 1. I don't require test 1 now. I need to delete this database. So how to delete it? Drop database name, that is known as test 1. I need to delete it. This database has been deleted. I can refresh it. Then you can see there is no database.